Welcome to the Point Noted Podcast with your host, Johnny B, and co-host who shows up whenever he wants to, former NFL player Rashad Barksdale. It's raw, unfiltered, and no topic is off limit. We talk sports, entertainment, culture, and a whole lot of random shit. Let's get to the point.
Point Noted Podcast. I'm your host, Johnny B. My guest host, as always, OCO. OC, what's going on, my man?
How's it going? I'm glad to be here today, guys.
Good, man. We got a good one today, man. We got a really special guest in the house, man. We got Lutchi Gayot, and I'll probably say that name wrong, but he can slap me upside the head for that. We got Lutchi Gayot here, and he's running for Congress for New York District 9. Lutchi, what's going on, my man? How you doing?
Johnny, how you doing, brother?
Hey, man, we here, man. Just enjoying.
You forgot the most important part. He's Yang Gang, man.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yang Gang, Lutchi Gayot in the house, man.
Yang Gang in the building, baby.
Yang Gang in the building, man. How you doing, my brother?
I'm good, brother. I'm good today. You know, feeling good. It's a beautiful day out here in New York City. You know, we're out here pushing hard. It's a very interesting year this year, the way we're campaigning. You know,
okay.
With technology, with the support of the Yang Gang and everybody else in the community, I believe we'll be able to pull a good one off this time.
Yeah, my man OC is a big Yang Gang. He's been trying, before Yang was born, OC's been trying to make me a Yang Gang. so once Yang got out here, OC's like, bro, you got to be a Yang Gang, man. So he offered me all kinds of money, bribes, everything. I just told him it's all right, man. I'll just watch what's going on with the Yang Gang. So it's good to have a Yang Gang.
I got you to contribute, though.
I did donate to the Yang Gang, because I have my brothers and my friends keeper. So, but yeah, man. So what's going on with your race, man? Tell us, man. Why are you running? What made you run? Why did you decide to jump into this or to run for Congress?
All right. Well, my journey in running actually started close to about 15 years ago.
Okay.
I went to a community board meeting where my neighbor came and grabbed me. It was like, Lutchi, you got to come to this community board meeting. They're building this shelter a couple of blocks away. And, we want to go there and protest because we want it to be affordable housing, not a shelter. So we go to the meeting, and the representatives that were there, the public representatives that were there, were just simply not listening to us. They weren't listening to, our grievance, which basically the grievance was, we did not want it to be a shelter. Instead, what we wanted it to be was affordable housing or low-income housing, because we felt like low-income housing, affordable housing is more of a permanent type of arrangement for a community as opposed to a shelter, where it's a revolving door, people coming in and out. Well, fast forward 15 years, and today, if you go back and you look at this very same shelter, in New York, we have what we call the poverty industrial complex, where we have these 4 private entities that benefit or profit off of poverty. For instance, last year, the city of New York spent about $1 billion last year housing the homeless. It comes down to $20,000 per homeless person, and each person is still homeless at the end of the year. So
Crazy.
that $20,000 per homeless person or per room in that shelter, multiplied over the course of the years, is enough money to have built several city blocks worth of affordable housing. That one shelter, and back in around that time is when the city was really pushing out the shelters. And so, I just feel like our representatives do not listen to us. Our representatives do not come with good pragmatic ideas to get real solutions or real real fixes to certain ills that we have in society, such as homelessness, such as how difficult it is to find affordable housing. They kind of put a Band-Aid on it, and then years later it ends up being an even worse situation. So even back then, the way I felt was, that she needed to be replaced with someone who would actually listen to the constituents. So what I did was I went home and Googled. Believe it or not, Google existed back then.
Right.
You don't feel old now, right? And I saw the enormity, the huge enormity that involved you running for office. Now, mind you, this was 15 years ago. This was before I was a small business owner. before I started my business and had my small
Wow.
business storefronts, before I had to deal with paying payroll tax and health insurance for employees and all kinds of life experiences that now puts me in a position to where I understand what it is that is necessary in order to go to Washington D.C. to legislate, because now I understand real life. You know, I've
Absolutely.
lived through the real world. I've lived through having to deal with running a business and dealing with uh with 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 with, with employees and customers. You know, and I'm also part of a union, local 253 Carpenters Union,
Oh, nice.
you know, as a singator. So I'm pretty much a union contractor. So I hire union workers
Nice.
to work on jobs. So I also understand collective bargaining. You know how important it is to protect workers' rights and also to protect workers' safety standards in the workplace. These are all
Mm,
things that I'm certified in and I've been doing for, well over a decade. So at
okay.
this point in my life, I feel like, I'm qualified and I'm ready.
Right. Right. And this is America. So if you feel like you can do it, you have every right to try and do it. And like you said, you've been through enough and you were exposed to enough to put yourself out there and say, listen, I can do better for the people. And the fact is, we do need new faces and new bloods to get out there and start fighting for people.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's definitely what it is that I plan to do. I'm out here in Brooklyn, born and raised,
Nice.
Flatbush,
BK.
Flatbush, East Flatbush.
Right. Right.
For those who know New York back in the 80s and 90s, that means I could tell you about Brooklyn going back as far as when crack was on the streets. You
Hmm.
Right.
know, born and raised in
Wow.
East Flatbush. Put my
You
book
didn't touch
back.
the crack, did you? You didn't touch the crack, did you?
Hell
Nah,
no.
too young. Too young.
Good. 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 Too young.
You know.
But but I put my book back on, walk
Right.
through what would be considered the hood back then to take myself to school and back,
Right.
and I had to
Right.
make sure
Right.
I made friends with
Right.
all the different gang members on the way to school and back, so that they would recognize, okay, that's Lutchi, let's leave him alone.
Right. Leave him
Right.
alone.
Right.
Right.
so,
Right.
so I'm born and raised in the district, and I feel like I have better ideas.
Right.
Absolutely. And I took a look at your website, Lucci, and I also remember the day you tweeted out that statistic of the couple $1 billion spent on homeless people in New York, and I was floored. I was completely floored because John and I are both we're both Nigerian Americans. Been here a long time now. But when we talk corruption in politics, the the amount of money that these guys are claiming to be spending on homeless folks, and the issue remains. Talk about that, because again, affordable housing being one of your core issues. This is unbelievable. What I mean, the numbers, the amount of money these guys are putting out from the taxpayer, and nothing, nothing is happening. Nothing real is happening.
Exactly, exactly. And back to what we were saying earlier about good pragmatic ideas. We could take a look at the shelter and imagine the cost per unit in the shelter now on average is $20,000. So
Yeah.
if you think about, if the city had a the mindset of solving homelessness, what they would have done is calculate, well, over the course of the next 15 years, we're building 20 shelters. These 20 shelters are going to cost us this amount. So why don't we go to Washington D.C. and ask Washington D.C. to give us a loan for X billion so we could build affordable housing?
Right.
Then that money that we produce from the rent of the affordable housing, you use that money to make the payments back on the loan.
Right.
If you can't get Congress to hand New York City several billions of dollars, then go there and borrow the money. Or if you don't want to borrow the money, another way we could do it is we could have what I've been speaking about, which is the which is the federal housing bond. Kind of like how World War
Hmm.
II was paid for with the federal war bond. We could have the federal housing bond, and we could add an interesting feature on it and put it on the blockchain.
Right.
So everyone who understands crypto or blockchain can understand that if the United States of America creates a security, or we'll call it, a crypto, for those who understand crypto, but we'll keep it simple and call it a security. Security, right? And they are backing the security by the full force and credit of the U.S. plus backed by the rents that are collected from this affordable housing, we would be able to raise trillions. Over,
Right.
for those who understand blockchain and crypto, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You
Yep.
Absolutely.
trillions overnight. I would literally walk into Goldman Sachs and say, "Hey, I need $1 trillion a year on these bonds every year for the next 12 years." They'll say, "That's easy. That's no sweat." Boom, there
Right.
you go. I could get it through Congress. I don't have to worry about arguing if with Mitch McConnell if he's still there. You know, I can literally get it through
Hopefully it's
Congress, right? I can literally get it through Congress without having to fight with conservatives or with liberals or with anybody. You know,
not.
because
Right.
it's an actual instrument that's not going to cost the taxpayer anything. You know, the
Mm.
only thing it's going to cost us is just the time it's going to take to actually write up and pass the legislation. Other than that, other than that, it's an instrument that's just going to literally just create value uh, by itself because of the value of that instrument based off of what it's going to be used for. You know, so again, good pragmatic ideas is what I'm trying to bring to Washington D.C. on affordable housing and several other things too.
Right. Right. And we need that. Like I said, we need those fresh bloods and fresh ideas. So you being born and raised in Brooklyn, and now you're running in. What kind of support are you getting from the community? Like, what was it like when you said, "Hey, I'm running for Congress"? What was that turnout like? The support? How did it feel in the community?
I tell you what, this is not my first time running. I have run
Okay.
for the seat before in the past. Last time I ran, I received about 21,000 votes.
Wow.
So I do have some support in the district already.
Mm.
As you know, for the past several months in New York, we've all been experiencing what's been going on with COVID-19.
Right.
Sure.
And the way it looks like we're going to be experiencing this for quite some time.
Yeah, for a
We're not
while.
gonna, yeah, exactly. So we're not going to have huge gatherings, crowds, community board meetings, those type of things. But that that still leaves the door open to meet people electronically,
Right.
because that is more or less the way that everyone is communicating these days anyway.
Yeah.
So I am receiving a lot of support electronically from a lot of members in the community, and of course from Yang Gang. Yang
Oh,
Gang
man. Some
Absolutely.
gang supports.
Yang Gang is definitely showing me a lot of love. I appreciate it.
Mm.
I'm out there just simply, trying to push our message of a UBI, try to push our message of having common sense solutions in Washington D.C. Not coming up with insane solutions that's just going to bankrupt the country. We need
Right.
solutions that will work for everyone.
I see.
Right.
So the last time around, it seems like what, like 200,000 votes or so, in-person votes or just votes in general. What's your expectations of the turnout this time, and how much will the mail-in ballots? Are they allowing everybody to do mail-in ballots, or is it just how's that going to pan out, and how's that factoring into your strategy of a more digital election process, more digital um, reach out campaign process?
Yes, understood. I don't think anyone knows because this is the very first time that
For
anyone is
sure,
doing it.
for sure.
So it's going to be a matter of how many people you could reach, and also not only that, but also what your connection is to the district.
Mm.
Yes.
We have the incumbent as
Okay.
myself. We were both born and raised in the district, but then you have
Hmm.
other people who are running in this race who are not born and raised in this district. They are on the ballot now, but if you look at their history, they've only been in the district a couple of years. So that deep connection to the district, that deep connection to the history of the district, where the district has come from, where the district is heading to. I am able to speak to that. I am able to speak directly to the constituents and say, "Hey, I am a son of each Flatbush."
Right.
Right.
And it's the truth. There's no one else in this race that can say that. The other people who are in this race will allude to being from the district, but they actually are not. So that's definitely one thing that we do have in common. So that because of that, I understand the people's plight. I understand what it is that the community needs. For instance, with the Haitian community, we have a
Hmm.
problem with TPS, and it's been a political football for we're going on nearly 10 years now, you
Right.
know,
Amazing.
and we still have no results, and it's a very large Haitian community. We cannot understand why.
Unbelievable. It's
Immigration,
kind of just on hold.
yes, correct, or immigration just in general is on hold. Not just
Right,
TPS,
right.
but you know, uh, immigration in general. I feel our public officials are using or are holding our immigrants hostage, and I'm talking about both sides.
Makes
Right.
Both sides
sense.
are holding hostage because I mean, in the House, you could pass a piece of legislation that you know can pass the Senate, or you could pass a piece of legislation that you know will not pass the Senate,
Right.
and it just becomes a fight for 6 months. Or you could pass a piece of legislation that works for everybody. And I tend to see, depending on how close we are to an election, they'll pass a piece of legislation in the House. Either party, Republicans do it, Democrats do it, both do it. They'll pass a piece of legislation in the House that they know will not get through the Senate, and it becomes a fight for 6 months, and then the next election, and because we have an election every other year. So,
Right.
so as a result, we always end up with, we always end up with maybe two or three major pieces of legislation that get passed every 4 years as a
Terrible.
result.
It's
You
Yeah.
tragic.
know,
Terrible.
yeah. So it's definitely a problem in Washington D.C. We need to alleviate that
There's a
part.
lot of problem in Washington D.C. That's why we got to get people like you to get down there and start kicking some ass. Get down there and start telling them you do it now or you're gonna get it. Just
you,
go
you
down
know
there and
something,
just
brothers.
uh
You know something, brothers. Like for me, looking at Washington D.C. and me thinking, well, I'm gonna go there and make things happen. I would love to, but I'm not gonna be naive. I understand
right,
that
exactly, right,
yeah, there are a lot of things in place, a lot of powers that are in place that make things just can't move. A certain
right,
yeah, or a certain piece of legislation you would love to pass, like universal health care of some sort, you
right,
know. But there are so many moving parts in the healthcare system and different interests and things that are connected, and when you unbox it, you're like, whoa, this is like this Pandora box of all this connected,
Hmm.
and it makes it hard to do. So I get that.
absolutely,
So I'm
absolutely.
yeah, so I'm not going to DC, with my head, all gassed up thinking I could change things. But
You can have
yeah,
hope.
yeah. But at the same time, what I will say is that, even if I can't get anything out of DC, I'll go over to Silicon Valley,
Mm,
and I'll speak to Elon Musk and see if Elon Musk wants to come into Central Brooklyn and install a Hyperloop.
yeah, yeah.
Audi,
Elon's all about doing crazy stuff like that anyway. So
yeah, Audi
you
got
know,
to do that.
yeah. We just talking about getting Elon Musk on the show. Uh,
We
you
need,
know, get him on here so we can have some crazy conversation with him as well. I'm a big fan of Elon.
yeah, man. I'm a fan too. Like people, they try to talk about Elon. I think Elon is one of those revolutionary industrialists. Groundbreaking, kind of like the people, kind of like he's the type of person where like in I don't know 50 years we'll look back or they'll look back and compare him to like the Wright brothers or something.
Mm,
100%.
interesting.
100%.
Mm, yep.
100%. Is he infallible? No, but this guy is at he's pushing the boundaries of
Right.
what we consider to be reality. So you got to give it to him. Um, but I'm very enthused about the opportunity and the energy right now, and actually the fact that everybody's kind of online campaigning. Um, some would say it's given an advantage to the challengers. What's your take right now? I mean, when it comes to District 9 for you guys, there's a crowded field with the Democrats. What's your approach right now? What's your strategy to get it done?
Good ideas, brother. Good ideas. Um, because of the fact that we are going through COVID, that means the
Mm,
majority of people who are running are not being seen by the public.
Right.
So
mm,
their true. If you don't have some sort of presence online, a website, social media,
Yeah.
ways for people to get in touch with you, find out what you're about. Like
Right.
for ways for you to get in touch with me. You know,
Right.
there are other people like voters who want to get in touch. Just find out. So it's again, like I was saying earlier, it's a very interesting year. It's going to be
Yes.
very interesting to see what happens at the end. But I
Hmm.
think this year in particular, it's going to have to do with who has the better ideas and who is real. You know,
Mm.
some voters, some voters are people who are voters because this particular election are going to be like voters
It
election.
is. It is. It
Like
really is.
exactly like the prime voters, the ones that vote in every election, are
Right.
probably gonna be the ones that are gonna really be interested in this election. Now, with that being said, that means that these voters are gonna be looking deep into who it is that they're voting for. So when a voter looks me up, they'll be able to see that I'm a person from East Flatbush, Brooklyn, a small business owner, who believes that the government's not doing right by the people. It's really that simple. And what qualifies me are, my 20 years of experience in business, in running a construction company and running small business storefront and running a beauty salon,
Right. Wow.
renting chairs. You already know. You know how we do.
Right.
For sure.
Right. Business. Gotta be business minded. Right.
So at least you go to Washington D.C. with some sort of acumen, so that you actually get things done.
Absolutely.
Right. I know you're a good businessman, a business owner. Uh, I was just thinking it would have been so nice if one of your businesses was a restaurant, because when OC and I goes to the city, we have a place to eat for free. You know,
Exactly.
I mean, that would have been nice. That's what I'm looking forward to. But since you don't have that, I'm pretty sure we can still get a good recommendation of where we can go to get some good Asian food.
Oh, absolutely, man. There's for Haitian food. Uh, yeah, there's a couple of good places you can go to.
We're definitely gonna ping you when we're in the city for that, because I'm all about eating when I get down there. That's what I want to do is eat and then
Hmm.
go back home. So,
Yeah.
but I'll ask you one more thing on some of the issues that you have on your platform, which is, and I think OC agree with me on this, ranked choice voting, right? I mean, a lot of people are voting for, just the options are limited, right? So, and I'll let you speak on that. Just explain to people why you are supporting the ranked choice voting.
The reason why I'm in support of the ranked choice voting and ranked choice voting done properly, of course, and
Right.
it does have its opponents and it does has its proponents. Well, the
Mm-hmm.
city of New York has already passed the ranked choice voting, so next year we are going to have the very first primary for local city seats, so city council, mayor. That's going to be ranked choice in that primary. And so I feel, it's time for us to just update the way we look at politics in this country in order to allow for, grassroots candidates or candidates that would normally not be seen or heard to actually be seen or heard. And here's another thing with ranked choice, it puts voters in the position to where they research every single person that they want to vote for. You know, um, Versus just simply showing up and just voting for a name that you're just used to seeing all the time, and that's just a name so you just vote for it. At least now you have options to where you can weigh your option, and and that way, other candidates that probably wouldn't have had the chance will have the chance. But I do also have to say about ranked choice, it's also going to have to be an educational process, which I definitely want to push hard in the community so everyone really understands what ranked choice voting is and how to vote ranked choice. Because next year, when we have our first primary in about a year with ranked choice, we want to make sure that everyone's on the same page.
Right. Right.
Yeah, we appreciate that, man. Hey, listen, before we get you out of here, I've got a question for you, man.
Talk to me.
You a soccer fan?
Hmm. I'm not the biggest
I
soccer
got
fan.
him.
I'm
Got him.
with you, brother. I'm not the biggest soccer fan, But when I do watch soccer, I gotta watch my Caribbean teams.
Absolutely.
So definitely when the Haiti's out there playing, Mexico kills it. Brazil
Terrible game to watch.
always. I like my Jamaica and also my
Okay.
African teams. I go down all the African teams anytime
Right.
there's a World Cup. I see my brothers out there kicking it.
Right. No, that's amazing, man. It's funny how the unity works, man. Like you see an African team playing, everybody just got around and support it. You see an Asian team playing, you got around and support that. But I know you're from the city, so you're probably a basketball fan. So who's your team? Or are you a basketball fan?
I gotta go with Brooklyn, man.
Nets?
I gotta go with the Nets. I remember when the Nets first got to Brooklyn. Was it 2012? And we opened up the Barclays that year. The same year we had the Hurricane Sandy, so that was like a good pastime. So I always remember that happy memory of opening up the Barclays and the Nets.
Were you a Nets fan before they moved to Brooklyn?
I wasn't a Nets fan before moving to Brooklyn, but
you were okay.
Moving into the hometown, the hometown got to give them a good warm welcome.
Absolutely, makes a lot of sense to me.
Absolutely, brothers.
What about the Jets? Jets or Giants?
Jets or Giants? I got asked that question the other day. You got so many. The other day someone asked me about Mets or Yankees.
Yeah,
and you gotta pick. I won the answer on the Mets or Yankees, but the Giants. I gotta go with the Giants, man. The Giants.
Oh no!
Giants, baby. You're a Nets fan? I mean, Jets fan.
Jets fan, baby.
Jets, okay.
Jets fan. I just love I just love how miserable we are. So,
New York is such a big city, the 5 boroughs, that we gotta have 2 of every team. So we gotta have.
You have to.
Is it 3 hockey teams or is it 2?
Yeah, the Rangers and the Devils and the Islanders too. So it's 3.
Yeah. 3.
Well, for New York is 2, the Rangers and the Islanders. But if you count New Jersey, then you have the New Jersey Devils. So.
Yeah, the Devils. So we got the 2 plus the 1 down there. Then you got 2 baseball teams. We used to have the Dodgers. What am I missing? Football, basketball, hockey,
baseball, hockey. Yeah, that's about it. That's about. I mean, it's a great place to be though. When you're talking about sports, I mean, in the Madison Square Garden, watching the Knicks play, sitting next to Spike Lee. That's my dream. So Spike, if you're listening, just one day, baby, just one day. Yep. I want to sit next to Spike and just enjoy again. That's all.
Exactly.
Osi don't even have to come. Osi don't have to come. Osi can be at home. Just you and I, Lutchi. Let's do it. Let's get that ticket.
I'm with it. All right. Well, I'm gonna push hard. I just need the Yang Gang stand behind me.
Absolutely.
Yang Gang, New York, Brooklyn. All of you are out there. Take a look at your candidate. You got Lutchi Gayot on the ballot. Go to my website, teamgayot.com. That's TEAMGAYOT.com.
Correct.
You can request a ballot right off the website. You can read the rest of my platform right on the website.
Right.
And please feel free to DM us on Twitter or on Facebook. We're all over the place. Right.
Yeah, man. If you're listening, please go ahead and show your support. There's many ways to support the guy. Go on Twitter, go on his website, and definitely donate some money, man. These guys are running people fund their campaign. They don't have the deep pocket. They don't have, that Jeff Bezos pocket. By the way, if Jeff Bezos call you right now to push your campaign, you saying no?
If Jeff Bezos calls me right now to push my campaign, I'm going to say, Jeff Bezos, I need $1 billion for STEM programs. Can you do that? If you could do that, I'll take the money, baby.
That's
Jeff
what I'm saying.
A dime. Jeff just needs to put money into our schools. That's all I need from Jeff right now.
Right. Got to do something better with that money besides keeping it in his bank, right?
Exactly. Give me some STEM programs in the schools. Get together with Elon Musk. Let's work on this Hyperloop situation. We could have a couple of Amazon pods in there too.
Right.
Transit for New York City. Let's get it going.
Right. Have you been to the Trump Tower?
I have not been to the Trump Tower.
You planning on going anytime soon?
Well, actually, you know what? I've been to Trump Tower because
Yeah, you've been to the. Yeah, I mean, it's
I've been.
unavoidable.
I've definitely been to Trump Tower. Like I think I was thinking about recently. I've been there many times over the years. There used to be There used to be so many different Trump buildings across the city. You could,
Right.
but now I think there's only a few more left. Like there's the one in Fifth Avenue, and I think there's another one by Columbus Circle.
That's the one.
That's it.
That's the Trump Towers.
Yeah, the Trump Tower. Yeah, but actually, you know what? Before COVID, I was over by the mall over at Columbus Circle. They got that big shopping mall there. I
Yeah,
forget what I
yeah.
was there for. I think I went there. I was there to meet a business associate, and
Mm.
yeah, I was there. But what's the question about that?
Yeah. No, I was just asking if you've been there, and if you haven't, if you plan on going back. With Trump being such a polarizing figure, because I have a next question that follows that, which was with Trump and Biden obviously in a collision coming up here soon. Do Biden have a shot on winning this after all that racial language that he came out with 3 days ago? Does Biden have a chance to win? Or is Trump really going to get another 4 years?
It's one of those years where, again, with politics, is you just never know. But what I see and what I think, I really believe that the Democratic nominee needs to pick a pro UBI running mate. I
Mm-hmm.
think right now we have to think about economic politics. And
Right.
I think your politics have to be an economic politics. We can't play any other kind of politics this year. We got to play economic politics, which means what's going to affect people in their pockets. If we try to play any other kind of politics with this presidential race, I think we're going to be in trouble. So I'm still hoping that they would make the smart decision and make Andrew Yang a running mate.
Mm,
Whew. I hear
absolutely.
you. I hear you. Unfortunately, this dude already like declared he's gonna choose a woman, and if he goes back on that, oh my god, I don't
Yeah.
know.
All the women would really, really just pack up and leave. So they kind of stuck themselves out there by saying they're going to pick a female running mate. Kamala Harris, Stacey Abrams, Amy Klobuchar is being vetted now, so it looked like she might be the one. I know African American doesn't like her based on a past and the history in was it Michigan? She's from Minnesota.
Minnesota.
So I mean, Joe is really in a tough place right now. He might as well just go find like you said, a UBI vice president candidate, or go get somebody from the MAGA group and just get a Trump. Honestly, I mean, it's really, and this is where that ranked choice voting come into place, though, right? Right, Lucci?
Yeah, so the ranked choice voting does come into play in that particular respect. Now on a national level, I mean, if it's ranked choice, you think a lot of times you got more than one party that runs. I think on a national level, the ranked choice, it'd be interesting to run a couple of models and see how that would work. If you had
Right.
like let's say 3 or 4 candidates and you ran a ranked choice model,
Libertarians could come out. Green Party could come out with somebody and
Yeah,
see
absolutely.
what happens.
that would be. I mean, in terms of like if we believe in democracy, that's what
That's the way
democracy.
to go. Yeah,
Right. Absolutely.
but they will never, ever, they will
Never.
never, ever do that. They will never let
Never.
that happen.
Yeah, because
Never.
it's true. Because if you look at some third world countries, in some third world countries, every presidency is a different party. Like
Right.
you have 10 presidencies, and it'd be like a different party each presidency.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yep.
know,
Just how
and
it
Absolutely.
always is.
and
Yeah.
some other countries, I want to say third world countries, just many other countries are like that. You
Yeah.
Right.
know,
Yeah,
you
absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Lucci,
so
man, thanks for coming. We don't want to hold you too long. We understand how busy you are. We appreciate you making the time despite all the IT technical difficulties that we have. We made it happen. We're here. We made it happen. We appreciate it. Wish you best of luck. OC and I are going to jump on your website. We're going to donate. We'd like to support the candidate that stop by. We understand how hard it is, especially when you're running a people-funded campaign.
yes, you have no
So,
idea,
so
especially with COVID and everything
yeah,
shut down.
yeah. No one has money. We don't have that.
You
We
know
don't
that.
have Jeff Bezos' money. I don't have OC's money. Um, So, but we definitely appreciate the time, man. OC, anything for Lucci?
No, man, I just, I wanted to congratulate him. In my books, you're already a champion because you're out here, you're fighting for people.
Man, right,
And that's just what the country needs right now is people fighting for people, not just like, agendas of the rich and all that. So keep doing what you're doing. Like you said, we will definitely be donating. We'll get the word out. And
right.
looking forward to seeing you lift that belt.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Please give the people the website again. Tell them how they can find you.
Yes,
Uh,
absolutely. So look for me at teamgayot.com. That's TEAMGAYOT.com. Or look for me on Twitter at Lutchi Gayot, at LUTCHIGAYOT. Same thing on Facebook, Lutchi Gayot. Come looking for me.
Absolutely, man. That's Lutchi Gayot running for Congress. You guys go out there and support. Get on the website, donate, spend that money on my man, please. He can use the support, man. Hey, Lutchi, I appreciate you stopping by, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for giving me the time and the opportunity to speak to everyone out there.
Absolutely, man. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, or your week, should I say.
Yes.
It feels like a weekend.
It does.
All right, my man.
All right. Bye-bye.
Peace.
You've been listening to the Point Noted Podcast with Johnny B and Rashad B. Follow us on Twitter at PTNoted and Instagram at Point Noted. Hit the subscribe and follow button to follow us and check out more episodes of us talking a whole bunch of shit. You've been noted.